Jim and Terry show have wandered all over the place this morning. Must have been something in the coffee, I don't know. But I'm going to wander down the Canadian election road just as a starter, and where it goes, who knows? Spin the wheel. Carney, was the win what you expected? I asked you that question at breakfast. Did we record the answer to that?
No.
I'm not sure. Okay, so
It wasn't a surprise to me, but it also wouldn't have been a surprise to me if Poilievre had won. I wouldn't have been surprised.
It was neck
either
and
way.
neck, wasn't it?
And I wasn't going to be worried either way. One thing, we still have a stable democracy in this country, and especially with minority government, if Carney doesn't do what's going to be impressive, if he isn't going to do something like that, it's only a couple of years and he's out.
Or voted non-confidence in the middle.
I personally think, and we've talked about it, because of his economic smarts and everybody around him with their degrees and all that, I think at this particular spot in time, I think it might be better for him to be dealing with Trump because he's calm. Trump's not going to be able to insult him, I can see Carney just walking away. He'll get up from the table if he calls him even once a governor. He'll just get up and walk away. I'm convinced of it. He laid the rules down before he even went. No, we're negotiating as two separate sovereign nations. So I think he might be the mature figure that Trump's going to need in the room.
Would Poilievre have been?
Well, Poilievre might have been great. I don't know. But he is looking young, and he looks very Trump-ish.
And inexperienced on the world stage.
Yeah.
Whereas Carney's been around. One of the articles I read this morning was talking about Carney's global connections.
Yeah.
And I think Trump, well, the article spun it as this way: Trump is afraid of Carney's global connections. And if you're an anti-globalist, which is, people on the right are anti-globalist, anti-trade, anti-trade agreements. They want everybody to negotiate their own.
I've seen people mad at Carney because he's rich.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No, well.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're conservative, and you're mad at a guy who did well.
Well, is there a for rent sign on Stornoway, which is the official opposition residence, which is free, paid for by taxpayers' money? And Poilievre has been enjoying that for the past 3 years.
There you go. So
I didn't see any photos of a U-Haul van. So he lost his seat?
Yeah. Someone will give up their seat for him, I think. If Trump is scared of Carney's world connections, that's only because he's up to no good. Because why would you be afraid?
Yeah.
If you're going to sit down in good faith, there's nothing to be afraid of. Let's come to a
if
deal
you're sincerely
that
going
works
to
for
negotiate.
both of us.
That's right.
And anything that makes you nervous and afraid, it's because you're up to no good. The deal's a deal. It's going to be good for both. That's how it should go. Go to the table for that.
I don't want to use the word deal anymore. It's ruined in my mind with the art of the deal and breaking your word. Ever since Trump has broken every agreement that he's ever signed, I would not trust him to pen any agreement. The U.S. word in foreign policy is mud. There's no value to it at all. Why would you trust him? And that's why you surprised me with the Ukraine deal. Well, let's have you heard. So I got to pay attention to that one and watch how it's going to unfold. For Canada, it was a question of the polls. Before Trump was elected, the separation between the Conservatives and the Liberals was 25 points. With Trump being elected, the convergence began. When Trudeau resigned, which I think was one of the most brilliant strategic moves, and Carney went through the process of being chosen, and that's when I became a card-carrying member of the party so I could cast my vote. And I became involved in politics because of that. I thought this was all interesting. The convergence, the sheer meteoric drop of the Conservatives. Seeing a 25-point guaranteed he's going to be the next prime minister, and likely with a majority, that evaporated.
Well, he can thank Trump for that. And
I think so.
Because what it is it really emphasized the different mentality of between Canadians and the United States, where they want hey, let's get out there and get them. Canada doesn't want that.
No.
Canada doesn't want to be bully. We want to try to be inclusive. We want to try to be gentle, even to those we disagree with, whether it be different genders or whatever you want. We want to still be kind. And I think Trump emphasized that, and Poilievre actually backed the wrong
horse in the race.
The wrong horse in the race, and he wanted to be that strong freedom from what? Freedom from what? We're the freest country in the world. One of them, anyways. But I mean, I love my country, even under the Liberals, and I've been conservative for so long.
Yeah.
So when he really leaned towards the extreme right, a majority, obviously, of Canadians said, this is not my representative.
We've seen this story unfold
yeah.
in the South, and we don't like it. We're not doing the same thing. I use the phrase, which is common in social media circles and in the feeds that I look at, Maple MAGA, which is Trump light. It's looking at Pierre Poilievre having carved out himself as a brand as being MAGA, but a light version of it. In other words, he's not afraid of using the notwithstanding clause in the Constitution, which is there. It's a clause that exists in our Canadian Constitution, but you use it under exceptional circumstances because it circumvents the Bill of Rights, their Charter of Rights and Freedom. And he said he would not be hesitant to use it to accomplish his party platform. And that, to me, is saying,
there's your red flag.
Well, there's a big red flag.
Because that is Trumpism.
Yes.
That is...
Only I can fix it.
Only I can fix it, or it doesn't matter. Everybody's wrong. All the hundreds of people that came before us,
yes,
all the 150 years of politics in the country, or wherever it is now, all of them forged the country this way. And now you really have that much arrogance, and this is where Trump falls.
Yeah.
You have that much arrogance. All this was put together, especially the economic system set up in the United States, for 100 years. All of that coming this way, and you're smarter than them. And you got to remember with Trump, he said he's smarter than the generals.
Yep.
And now he thinks he would make a good pope. On and on it goes. Poilievre, I don't think that, but he started to give that arrogance.
Yeah.
This arrogance of you're a loser, I'm a winner type arrogance, and I don't think Canadians
including
like it.
Poilievre's claims about crowd sizes at his rallies. I
don't know
where
about
does
that.
Where does this come from? Well, it sounds very familiar because that's definitely a Trump playbook. Bernie Sanders and AOC in the United States were gathering record-sized crowds and filling arenas and stadiums, and Trump comes out with this latest rally, which was not rather well attended. It was half the crowd size at the same venue as a Bernie Sanders AOC rally in the same state, same city, half the size. But don't tell Trump that because we have the biggest crowds ever. It's bigly. I can't believe the support. And that's what Poilievre was saying at his rallies. Have you ever seen this? What a great day to be a Canadian. Look at the size of our crowds as he's munching on his apple. Yeah, so detached.
I'd put the glasses back on. If I was him.
Why not?
I think it made him look colder. The glasses made him, but I had a problem with his attitude, right? I told you that way back. I said he wants to be the prime minister.
Yeah,
and that
absolutely.
was before he was the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party, and I didn't like him back then. I understood the work they were doing. I thought it was supposed to be. But his way of doing it was just a little bit more...
When you get turfed from your own riding, which you've held for 20 years, there's a message. Take note. You might parachute Poilievre into another safe conservative riding, but I hope he gets voted out even in that one.
Well, he may because, I mean, you lost your own riding and you're the leader of the party. That's usually a given.
Yes.
Now, Carney doesn't have did someone give a seat for him? Or?
No, he
won it. Okay, he ran and won it. Okay, good. I just forgot. Okay.
No problem. There's a big difference.
Big, huge difference.
And one is that if you lose and they have to parachute you in, that's a problem. If you win straight up, that's a good look.
No, that is a good look. Yeah.
All right, Jim and Terry Show signing off. Do take care. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.